Vatach Hana El Narevana Behar Hola No Hamzivach Asir Chazek Vetir Rabeh V'hayetalach Shivchat olam Vatik Yehemuna Rachamecha V'chuzna Beno Abach Nichsav Lirab Difered Ozach Hanayli Machmad Libi Choshana Ve'altit Alam Higalena Obras Chaviv Alai Hezugan Shelomach Tahir Herenz Mikibodach Mechabach Maherahu Givamoel Vechoneini Gimeolam Lechu Niranina L'Adonai Narial Zori Shenu Nekadem Afanav Betodam Bizmiron Narial Ki Al Gadol Adonai Melech Gadol Al Kol Elohim Asher Ayabu Asau Yaveshed Yadavitaru Manishtach Page 15 or 48 Arbaim Shana Akud Bedor Vaomaram Toye Levavhem Vehem Lo Yadu Dirachai Hashem Ishbati Be'avim Yavon El Menuchati Shiru Ladona Shir Chada Shiru Ladona Kol Haaretz Shiru Ladona Baruch Shemo Asru Meyom Leyom Yeshuato Sabru Vagoyim Kevodo V'chol Ha'amim Nifleotav Ki Gadol Adonai Umol Al Meor Noraho Al Kol Elohim Hay 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 Gigol Elohim Amim Elilim Va'adonai Shamayim Asa Hol Behadol Lefanav Tiferet Bemigdasho Abul Adonai Mishpechot Hamim Abul Adonai ובחצרותיו, השתחוו לאדוני מהרת קודש, חילו מפניו כל הארץ, אמרו בגויים, אדוני מלך עבדי גון תבל מעל תימור, ידין עמים במישרים, ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירמיה אז ירננו כל הצייר לפני אדוני היווה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל וצדק ועמים באמונתו, תגל הארץ, נשמחו עם רבים. 17 or 51. זה יש לנו שמה ותשמח ציון, ותגלנה בנות יהודה, למען משפטך אדוני, כי אתה אדוני עליון על כל הארץ, מאוד עלית על כל אלוהים, אוהבי אדוני שנורה, שומר נפשות חסידיו, מיד רשעים יצילם, אור זרוע לצדיק ולשרי לב שמחה, שמחו צדיקים באדוני והודו לזכר קודשו, מזמור שיר לאדוני, שיר חדש. Page 18 or 52. לפני אדוני כי בא לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק ועמים במישרים, אדוני מלך יגזו עמים, ישב קרובים תנות הארץ, אדוני בציון. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו, כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו. Please rise, page 20. מזמור לדוד, אהבו לאדוני בני אלים, אהבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, אהבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, ישתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, כל אדוני על המים אל הכבוד בהדר כל אדוני שובר ארזים וישבר אדוני את ארזי הלבנון וירקידם כמו עגל לבנון בסריון כמו בין הרעמים איי כל אדוני חותם לבוקש כל אדוני יחיל מדבר יחיל אדוני מדבר קדש כל אדוני יחולל לילות ויחסוף יהרון ובכלו כולו אומר כבוד איי אדוני למה בו ישב אדוני מלך לעולם אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. You may be seated. הנע בכוח גדולת ימינך תתיר צרורה כבר רינת עמך סגבנו תרנו נורא הנע בכוח גדולת ימינך תתיר צרורה כבר רינת עמך סגבנו תרנו נורא Page 21 or 56. This is from the first time Israel won the Eurovision in 1979. You might know the tune. It's pretty easy. Ay 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 שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לך דודי לגרד קהלה לך דודי לגרד קהלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קהלה פני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכוון אלך כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לגרד קהלה לך דודי לגרד קהלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קהלה פני שבת נקבלה מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה קומיצי מתוך האפך, רב לך שבט בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה לחנון דילגרד קהלה. לך דודי לגרד קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התנערי מעפר קומי, לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי, על יד בני שי בית הלחמי. קרא אל נפשי גאלה, לחנון דילגרד קהלה. לך דודי לגרד קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. דוררי כי בהורכו, הורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לא נבושי ולא תגלמי, מה תשכחי ומה תהמי, בך יחסו עניי עמי, ונבנתה עיר אל תלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. והיהודים שוסייך ורחקו כל מבלייך, סיס עלייך אלוהייך, ימסוס חתן על כלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. ימין ושמאל תמרוצי, ויהיה אדוני תעריצי. על יד איש בן פרצי, ונשמחה ונגילה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמוני המשיגו לה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Page 23 of 59. מזמור שיר ליום השבת. טוב להודות. להגיד בבוקר חסדך בכיסמך. מה גדלו מעשיך היה, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. Magadlu Masechaya Meora Meku Machshevotecha. The righteous shall flourish like a palm tree. They shall grow tall like a cedar in Lebanon, planted in the house of Adonai. They will thrive in the courts of our God. They shall bear fruit even in old age. They shall be ever fresh and fragrant to proclaim Adonai is just, my rock in whom there is no flaw. Adonai malak Ehud lavesh. Lavesh Adonai Osi Kazah. Mikolod Maim Rabim Adirim Ishbereya Mikolod Maim Rabim Adirim Hadir bamarom, ay ay ay. Hadir bamarom, ay ay ay. Hadir bamarom, Adonai. Hadir bamarom, ay ay ay. Hadir bamarom, ay ay ay. Hadir bamarom Adonai. Heido techanem nuor leveit chanav hakodesh Adonai leorech yamim. Because we don't have a minyan in the building, in lieu of Kaddish, we can include Shir Hamalot on page 250. Oh, and excuse me, and this week we observe the Yartzeiten of Ludwig Ehrenreich, father of Zach Ehrenreich, Cecile Lehman, aunt of Peter Rothberg, George Agris, father of Cheryl Agris, and also Helen Gordiner, who is memorialized on our board. May their memories and the memories of all those whom we recall be blessings. Once again, we'll include Shir Hamalot on page 250. Shir Hamalot Esa Einai El Harim Me'ayin Yavo Ezri Ezri Me'im Adonai Osei Shamayim Va'aretz Al Yitein Lemod Raglecha Al Yanum Shomerecha Hine Lo Yanum V'Lo Yishan Shomer Yisrael Adonai Shomerecha Adonai Tzilecha Al Yad Yeminecha Yomam HaShemesh Lo Yakeka V'Yoreach Balayla Adonai Yishmorcha Mikol Ra Yishmor Et Nafshecha Adonai Yishmor Tzeitcha Uvoecha Me'ata V'Ad Olam. Good Shabbos, everyone. It's nice to see all of you on a cold night. I want to start by sharing a very short story that I think I've probably told before. I tell it a lot because it made quite an impression on my life, though I don't always, I don't think, live up to the moral of the tale. And the tale is this. I was, when I was in rabbinical school and, really on fire with religious fervor, I was studying in Israel, and one of my teachers, not one of my most really influential teachers other than in this particular moment, was a guy named Shmuel Lewis, or Richie Lewis, who's known to most people as Reb Shmuel. And he taught then at the conservative yeshiva in Jerusalem. I think he still does. And I was taking a class with him. It was a halacha class. I remember I was arguing some point with him. I don't remember what the point was, but I remember only very clearly that I was 100% sure that I was right. And that feeling of being 100% sure I was right
outlived the actual story. And and I'm still 100% sure I was right, though I can't for the life of me remember what we were talking about, which is sort of part of the story. And anyways, we were arguing about it sort of in class, and then I went back to his office, and I was still kind of really like a dog on a bone. I was really arguing about it. And finally, Reb Shmuel said to me, you know, Ben, I think you're actually right. But why don't you go be right by yourself for a while? Which was a pretty harsh thing for him to say in some ways, but which, and he didn't, I don't know that he meant it extremely harshly, but he meant basically, you know, like, give it a rest. You might be right, but give it a rest. And it's a story that I took very seriously, and I obviously remember it. And I don't know that I've lived up to that message. I still struggle to let things go. I really do. But it comes up in the parsha this week in a really interesting way. So the context, remember, is that Abraham has just lost his wife Sarah. And at some point in the not too distant past, and actually according to the Midrash, right before that, he had the episode of the binding of Isaac. So Abraham, it's a lot, as they say, right? He's going through it, basically. And the first thing he does when Sarah dies is he tries to secure this burial cave for her. He wants to buy this particular burial cave, Marat HaMachpelah, from this guy Ephron the Hittite. And the opening of the parsha is about them negotiating this deal. And it basically reports this kind of like exasperating conversation where no less than like 5 times in 10 verses someone begs someone else, listen to me, listen to what I'm saying. Like there's a sense in which this is like it's almost like ritualized hawking. Avram's trying to negotiate this deal, and basically the people living there want to give it to him. They say, listen, we know you're a prince of God among us. We know you're a holy guy. Just take the cave and bury your wife. And Avram says, no, I want to buy it. And he keeps on about it. And finally, he comes to this guy who owns the actual land, this guy Ephron the Hittite. And to him he says, listen to me, listen, I want to buy this. And the guy says, listen, just take it for free, I don't care. And Avram said, finally, Avram's like still at it. And finally, Ephron the Hittite says, listen, what's 400 shekels between you and me? Just take the cave and bury your wife. And Avraham then counts out the shekels, understanding this to mean, well, okay, if you're going to force me, that's the price. And then he buries his wife. And there's a variety of different midrashim about this. Some of the midrashim see Ephron as sort of kind of a shifty character. He's trying to he says he wants to give it to him as a gift, but he's sort of trying to take advantage of Avraham in this fragile state. But not all of the commentators see him that way. And there's a medieval commentator named Radak, Rabbi David Kimchi, who basically says, well, Ephron's just being like a nice guy. He just wants to give him this field because it's nothing to him. He doesn't care about it really. And this guy seems to really, really, really want it. So he says, fine, it's here. And sort of following up on that commentary, there's a rabbi named Shmuel David Lutzato, who's a 19th century rabbi who is from Italy, and in many ways he's sort of a forerunner of the conservative movement. He would have fit right in at like a USCJ shul today, and he basically says that Ephron, when he finally says, okay, $400, what's the difference? He's trying to basically short wire the conversation. And what he says is that this is really a davar kal. Like how much Avraham pays for this little forgotten corner of his field is really not a big deal. A davar kal is like a light matter, like a thing that's not so important. And here it is, Avraham is treating it like it's like life or death. And basically what Shadal says is Ephron is telling Avraham, listen, buddy, I don't know you that well, but probably you have more important things in your life going on right now than like haggling with me over this field. So if you want to pay me, pay me. If you don't want to pay me, don't pay me. Just go bury your wife. Just go take care of your family. And I think it's a really, really, really poignant moment. And I like to think that maybe on some level Ephron realizes that Avraham realizes that Ephron is right. And I spoke about this sort of at a board meeting a couple of weeks ago, and I guess it's on my mind. I think part of the message of the story, and this is part of what Reb Shmuel was telling me, and which I haven't really lived up to, but which I think about, is that we don't always need to have the last word, like in the argument. And we don't always need to get in one more comment. And we should try to focus on the things that really, really matter. And I want to say that I don't mean this glibly. Sometimes when people are stressed out, you hear, the overexposed phrase, well, at least you got your health. And it's yes, I'm glad that you should be glad that you have your health. But it's not only your health that you should be concerned about. We have these goals, and we do have ambitions, and we have things that matter to us. Not just life and death things, other things that matter to us. Things in our career, and our relationships, and things we want to accomplish, and our ambitions, and these things are not unimportant. But some things really are divrei kal. Some things really are just not that big a deal. And when someone is telling us, hey, this is just not that big an issue, right? This is really a davar kal. And when we realize that something is a davar kal, we should do our best to let it remain that way. We'll continue in just a moment with Mariv, which is on page 28. Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam asher Umavio yom umevi laila umavio ben yom uven laila Adonai tzvot shemo el chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai hamari barabim avat olam beit Yisrael. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו והם נגע יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל אל מלך נאמן שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך והיה עם שמוע תשמע אשר נכין בכל ונובנת נשאתי לו ולא ינן Adonai Elohechem Emet, top of 32 or 70. Emet. ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ובני ישראל לחנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילות הוסף למלכותך ראו בניך בוקע ים לפני משה זה אלינו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי פרען יעקב וגלה מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. ושמור צאתנו בואנו לחיים ולשלום אתה ועד עולם ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ברוך אתה אדוני הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל הותיר לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי Shabbat vayinafash. The formal text of the Amidah is on page 35. Say shalom bimroma, say shalom aleinu, ve'al gol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Say shalom, say shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. We continue with Kiddush on page 49. Does anyone want to make Kiddush? Go ahead, Mark. It's getting to be a regular thing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'rata b'anu v'shabbat kadsho b'yahava u'ratzon hinkilanu zikaron l'ma'aseh bereshit ki hu yom tochila l'mikra ei kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'hartam yotanu kidasha kohamim atanu. Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh ha-Shabbat.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakoratet gedula leoseh breshit shelo asanu kigoye haratzot velo samanu kimishpechot adama shelo sam chelkenu kahem vigoraleinu kechol hamonam vanachnu korim umishtachavim umodim Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shem Shema Bios and Moshe V'Moshe V'Yadat HaMe'orim Kakatu b'tortecha Adonai yimloch leolam v'hed v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom ahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Once again, in lieu of Kaddish, we can include one of the Shirei Amalot. We'll include the one on page 254 at the bottom. Shir Amalot mimamakim karaticha Adonai Adonai shima v'koli tien oznecha kashuvot lechol tachanunai himavono tishmoria Adonai miyamod ki mechas licha leman tivorei ki v'iti Adonai ki v'ta nafshi v'lid baruch alti nafshi l'Adonai mishomerim laboker shomerim laboker Yachel Yisrael el Adonai ki Adonai chesed v'arbei mofedut Hu yiftei el Yisrael mikol avonotav. Good Shabbos once again. Kiddush is sponsored this week by Sam and Laura Temis in honor of Max and Hannah's birthday. Those are their twin 6-year-old children now, I believe. We are looking for people to sponsor Kiddush. Please contact Andrea Rothberg to volunteer or for more information. The first women's group of the year, the Jewish year, will be meeting today. We'll be meeting tomorrow after Kiddush in the sanctuary. We continue to help Hearts and Homes for refugees with the resettlement of 2 refugee families in New Rochelle. But more volunteers are always needed. Contact Michael Dvorkin or Rhonda Singer or Mimi Steinberg about that. We're also hoping to continue that work in the spring as that project wraps up. So if you're interested in that, please let me know or any of those people I just mentioned. We are hosting the Interfaith Service here next week at 7:30 on Monday night, November 21st. Many of the local churches will be here as we always share the event together. So please come out for that. History and Philosophy of Conservative Judaism continues on Tuesday night, 7:39 p.m. Please drop in, even if you haven't been. It's been a great class so far, and we have a really good, strong group, and it'll keep going for several more weeks. Also, the Lunch and Learn on Wednesdays at 12 noon. Please hop on for that. We're learning the Parsha. The next book group is The Ornament by Maria Rosa Minukal, and it's November 30th at 8 p.m. on Zoom. Contact Barbara Saunders Adams about that. There's, in partnership with all of the conservative synagogues in Westchester, and in partnership with the Shalom Hartman Institute, we are participating in a series of lectures and conversations about belonging and boundaries in synagogues. That's the title of the series. So if you're interested in that, it should be really, really high quality learning, and the one we're hosting is going to be in March, but the first one of these is in mid-December. There are flyers back there, so check that out. It's a really cool opportunity, and it's free. And finally, we are still trying to get excited about an Israel trip in 2024 now. It's been pushed off. We are hoping to do some learning around Israel through the Israeli American Council, which is a group of Israeli expats who do Israel education in America. And it's also free, but their grant only covers it if we have 10 people per session. So the next session is on 12/11. So please do RSVP if we want this to happen. If we can't get 10, so it won't happen. And those are on Zoom as well. And contact me or Adam Gerber for more information about that. And what's that? Thanksgiving in a box. Yes. Thanksgiving in a box. It's super easy. It's a Pelham-wide Thanksgiving thing, which you probably already know about. You call up Manor Market. The easiest way is you just call up Manor Market and say, I'd like to do Thanksgiving in a box. And you tell them it's on behalf of PJC, and it's a nice zechut for the synagogue to have lots of people doing it. Pelham raises lots of money like this every single year. It's really amazing. You can also go and shop, and there's a list, and you can do it yourself, but you can also just call up and do it in 2 minutes. And
if you want to do your own shopping, you get to buy a ham.
Yeah.
I have boxes.
Cool. Great. Yeah, just call up Manor Market. It's really easy. And okay. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for coming out. Good Shabbos again. And we will conclude with Yigdal, which is on page 53. יגדל אלוהים חי וישתבח נמצא והנהד אל מציאותו אחד בן יחיד כייחודו נעלם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו אין לו דמות הגוף ואינו גוף לא נערוך אליו קדושתו קדמון מכל דבר אשר נברא ראשון בין ראשית לראשיתו הינו אדון עולם וכל נוצר יורה גדולתו מלכותו שפע נבואתו נתנו אל אנשי סגולתו ותפארתו לא קם בישראל כמשה נביא מעמיד את אמונתו תורת אמת נתן לעמו אל על יד נביאו נאמן ביתו לא יחליף האל ולא ימיר דתו לעולמים לזולתו צופה מיודע סתרנו מביט לסוף דבר בקדמתו גומל איש חסד כמפעלו נותן לרשע רע כרישתו ישלח לקץ ימים משיחנו לבדות מחכה קץ ישועתו מתים יחייל ברוך חסדו ברוך הדיין שם תהילתו מתים יחייל ברוך חסדו ברוך הדיין שם תהילתו. Oh, also, just if this applies to anyone, I don't know if it applies to anyone in the room, but if you got little kids or grandkids, Mariut is doing a family Shabbat seedlings thing. It's kind of like Tash Shabbat, but it's kind of lay run, and we're trying to get it off the ground, and so come out and support that if that applies to you. Tomorrow, yes, tomorrow. There's definitely lots of people coming. People know about it already. She's reached out to about sort of a last minute kind of thing.
What's this?
It's a Nehru jacket that Bob Goldman brought me back from Bob Goldman.
I was going to say, it looks like something.
Well, no, because he looked. I have to say, I don't know. He came on Coley Dre wearing one, and he just looked amazing. And I went up to him and I was like, Bob, you look great. And he's like, well, I'll bring you back one.
That's awesome. It fits well.
It was made for me.
Oh
I mean,
my
it was like he was like, give me your measurements, and I was like, okay. And then,
That's awesome.
it's.
Well, for a while
Did they have a good time?
I think they had a good time.
That's
They were gone for 3 weeks.
That's great.
It was very hot when the neighbor jackets were.
This is that's what this is. I mean, the way in India, I think they wear them lower, usually. But if I was you should have it cut. I was like, you want to cut like an American, and I did. It's more like.
Yeah.
You'll wear it.
I'll wear it. Yeah, this I'll actually wear. I think the ones that are really cut that way, I don't know that I would ever. Anyways, yeah.
No, that was thoughtful.
It was very nice. I didn't know he was actually gonna do it. I was like, sure, okay. But then, like, when he got over there, they like WhatsApp me. They were like, okay, what are your measurements? I was like, okay, well, I mean,
That's awesome.
yeah,
That sounds like them.
it does now.
This isn't, this
Uh,
isn't contagious, it's a virus.
They really, you didn't really like money. I know.